Hey everyone, welcome back to another On the Sensors production. I'm Majo, and I've got Polyfly here with me tonight. So we wanted to try something a little different today, more of a podcast style, video here. We wanted to talk about our musings, our thoughts on the return to in-person play. So there's been some things happening in the community. A survey you may have seen by our very own the 86. It's been floating around out there, and maybe a heat map or two, just to give us a sense of not just us, right, but the ARH crew and others around the world who maybe want to organize some events, just give people a sense of where are people located, right? I mean, we'll put it in the description. We'll even flash up an image here in a second, but we've got a pretty good population in the U.S., pretty strong population in Europe as well, and some others scattered around the world. And I think, pretty excited about it. I mean, we want to just talk about it. We want to, philosophize a little bit about what we would hope to see at an event. Some of the weird little things that might pop up at an in-person event, like, do I call you Joe or do I call you Polyfly?
Right.
Like, so stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, man. What do you think, Polly?
Well, I think the one big takeaway from the survey and from this conversation and everything is that the game is not dead, right? We hear so many times, hey, does anybody still play this game, or where do we play this game, and whatever. And yes, during COVID, it transitioned obviously to an online presence, OTS online but physical. But the game's not dead. We're still playing. There's still tons of people that want to play, and this just proves it. And so now
Yeah,
we made that transition from in real life play to virtual play or digital play. Now, how do we make that transition back out, right? Obviously, there's still a want to do that. It's one thing to sit down at a computer and press some buttons to roll some virtual dice, but the game has always been a social game, and I think that survey and this talk and there's still a need for that. There's still a want for that in-person social play. So
yeah,
it's exciting. It's exciting.
yeah. I agree, man. I got super excited. I thought like that survey would just, you would throw it out. We throw it out there. 86, put it out there, and I really wasn't sure who would fill it out. I mean, I don't think we had any. I don't think we had high hopes, to be honest. It was just like, and then he was like, dude, we got 10 responses. We got 20. We got 30. Now we're up to 70.
Yeah.
It's like, man, that's awesome. And I'm sure there's more, right? So if you haven't taken the chance yet, please, fill it out. And we're going to keep, putting together that heat map of sort of the little pins on the globe, and share that with anyone who wants that data to help organize an event. We would love to organize an event, and like an ARH sanctioned event at some point, right? And we'll talk to that crew about that, and just, yeah, try to get people in person playing again. Um, and I know, Paul, you had the thought around a call to action, so maybe we can talk
Hmm.
about that.
Well, it just when ARH and the ARH team put together the OP stuff, right, and they announced the Canto Bite series and the fact that they are going to have a Worlds 2022 in Vegas, like that's a great place to start, right? It was a stab at it was a thrown out there. Let's have an in-person event, but it wasn't really done with a lot of where's everybody at or what's going on or what is the. We know that we want an event because we didn't have a Worlds to finish the official game, so
Yeah,
let's just have one. But I think this goes a little bit deeper. This goes into the realm of where are people at? Where is the want? There's a want to play. Is there still a want to play? And would in life events really, in real life events really still work? And I think that this is just awesome. And I think the one thing that's going to make that continue to grow is us as players getting out there and talking to our local game stores, finding the local people. And this survey helps with that. We have tons of people that have filled this out that had no clue that they had so many people playing in the Chicago area, the Virginia area, the Houston area. Like there's these pockets of people that are playing this game virtually that had no clue that they're playing virtually with people in their own backyard. And I
yeah,
think we transition, we take that information, and we as players are pretty much starting out fresh almost. 70 responses doesn't seem like a lot in a grand scheme of a game, but that's a lot from nothing, right? There hasn't been
yeah.
any in-person play. And I think if we get out there and talk to our LGSs or talk to our local scene or get a hold of people, I think we can make it flourish and have more in-person events, not just big giant over-the-top events, but weeklies, monthlies, some old school style tournaments like bounty tournament events and stuff like that. I think that it would be cool. So yes, call to action, get out there. Fill out the survey. Figure out where people are. Figure out who's around you. Talk to your local
Yep.
people and come together. I think that's what's going to make this transition exciting, and I think really take off. So
Yeah, well said, man. I completely agree. And the one thing you said was, when that light bulb goes off of somebody, and this happened numerous times, like, whoa, I'm in Illinois. Like, who's that dot down there? Like, I didn't
yep,
know there was a guy down there. It's like, yes, we're there. Where people are there,
yep,
and it's awesome. So yeah, and I love the idea of getting involved in a local scene. First you have to find the scene, right? So I think it would be nice, I think, for all of us, like, have some, I don't know, beginner decks ready. You never know when you might be able to show up to a local scene and just have something ready on tap. I mean, it could be the OG two-player starter set, or it could just be like a Mando deck, right? A really approachable deck that
right,
is iconic, right? Who doesn't know Din at this point? If you like Star Wars even a little bit, you've heard of the Mandalorian, right? And maybe you have, like, I don't know, on the villain side, maybe a big Vader deck or something like that. I don't know how
right.
that would actually that would be fair at this point, but I mean, you get the idea, right? So two iconic characters, two decks you could just have to use to introduce someone to the game. I think that'd be kind of neat.
Well, and that's the big thing, right? Like, if we want this game to survive outside of this digital world, and we're getting back to this in real life, in real person events, and that's, I mean, when it comes down to it, games are a social thing. Getting new players that don't play with us online, that don't play with us on OTS, getting those new players in our scenes, building those scenes back up, that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to introduce people. And it's going to take us veterans who play this game, who have been playing this game online, to really push that. And you're right, simple decks, the original two-player starters, two decks maybe that you built that are just simple, beat your face in, but at least it's the basics. Play a
Yep.
card, turn them sideways, roll the dice, just to get people playing the game. I think that's going to be key. The Smash series
Yes.
that DC has been putting together. That's a great. Those are literally 15 card starter decks that you could just grab a couple. Hey, here's, you like this character, play this character, and let's go, because they're pretty well balanced.
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
way to get people involved.
Completely agree. I think DC even said that's sort of like, that's like the board gamification of Destiny. I mean, it's like Jumpstart for Magic,
Right.
right? So you just take like a 20 card deck, 20 card deck, smash them together, and obviously it's 15 and 15 with Destiny. But yeah, for a new player, like, that teaches them the mechanics, teaches them the basics. You know, I think that'd be perfect. The
Well,
other thing I wanted to say was, like, I think, you made a good point, right? The game is not dead, and I think we have to, especially as we go out to a local scene, we can't talk about it like it's dead. We have
right.
to sort of, like, introduce or reintroduce people to it, and sort of be ready for our elevator pitch as to why they should play it. I mean, because it's so much fun, and I mean, it's just have so much yet to offer, I think.
Yep.
So
I think also one of the big things that I think are going to get people into the game, because when you think about it, if I'm a new player walking in and I'm sitting down with somebody playing a Smash deck or whatever, right? Um, if I don't have any of the cards, I don't know where to get them, I don't know where to get dice, like, you're going to lose me right away, right? So I think one of the big things too is all of us who have extra cards, all of us that have, stockpiles of the old stuff that FFG printed, or can just print at home cards and maybe have extra dice or stickers, or can get a hold of stickers. Having extra cards, having extra decks pre-built, ready to go, that either people can play with, or maybe you're willing to loan out or give away, to get people coming back to playing that game. Like, having something physical in your hand that I get to take home and look at and play with, that's going to get me to come back out and go again. And then that gets them in the path of, here's how you print your cards. Oh, this deck, I printed it all on my computer at home, you know?
yep.
So I think that's big
Yeah,
too.
agreed. I think, exactly what you said. If you can bring the product home, so to speak, play it with your spouse, play it with your kids,
Hmm.
that's gonna lock in your interests. It's gonna help, get a new player over the edge, so to speak. Um, so yeah, I think, we can start to close out here, but I just wanted to reiterate that we're super excited about all this data we're getting. Happy to share that with anyone. We'll keep putting out that heat map. I think here on the sensors, we are very interested in working with ARH and maybe hosting some sort of an official sanctioned event. It could be, I don't know, a little tournament. It could just be a get together. I mean, it doesn't really matter as long as people who play this game, who love this game, just get
Hmm.
together, meet each other. Um, I just think it'd be awesome. So, any final comments on that, Paulie?
Just we have a duty to this game if we want it to survive outside of what it is now. If we want it to grow and continue to move forward, we have a duty as players to reintroduce and introduce new players to this game. We basically get to start from zero and shape the community outside of Discord. And I think that's a big task. It's a big ask, but I think if anything, COVID has proven that this community can do it, and I think that we can transition this into that. And I think this is just the first step of that.
Yeah, agreed. Maybe one quick parting thought would be there is a wave, right? We've got Bad Batch, we've got Mandalorian, we've got Obi-Wan coming, Ahsoka. We have all these amazing shows coming within the IP, and that should keep it on people's minds, right? And hey, what better way to engage in this IP than to actually be able to play with those characters you love, right? So that's something else to keep in mind, right? So if Ahsoka comes out next year, Obi-Wan comes out, have your decks ready to share with your friends, share with the new guy or new gal, and get them playing. So, all right, man. Well, that was awesome, Paulie. Well, hey, I appreciate everyone watching. We appreciate you guys tuning in. So if you have any ideas for future videos or any comments, certainly leave them down below, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.